Chapter 276, Tang San's Ninth Spirit Ability, TL by Bagelson. Dark red ripples made the air freeze, adding a faint red luster to everything within this blue world. All the surroundings turned sparkling and translucent, as brilliant as chunks of crystal. Yue Guan was worthy of being a title Douluo level power, even if his talent wasn't completely outstanding. He had already been a title Douluo for years. The odd velvet sky chrysanthemum spirit was released almost instantly. 9 spirit rings together releasing enormous spirit power fluctuations. As the 7th spirit ring flashed, the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum suddenly grew larger, coiling around him and issuing a series of resounding cracks. Yue Guan knew this was a moment of life or death. His perception rose to the limit, and he leapt up without any hesitation, rushing 10 meters into the air protected by the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum spirit avatar. The same moment he had just leapt up, a dark ray of light swept past beneath his feet, disappearing in a flash. Annihilate. An ice-cold voice echoed in the forest. All the blue color subsequently disappeared without a trace, and when the scene in front of Yue Guan became clear again, he saw the 49 spirit masters he had brought frozen in the air in a multitude of strange poses. Each one was covered by that translucent faintly red crystal. This scene was so familiar, even though Yue Guan held infinite hatred for that person. In this moment all his hatred turned into fear. He shivered, basically not even considering saving his subordinates. He stepped on the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum and turned into a ray of golden light, instantly escaping into the distance. Shattering noises as sharp and clear as a musical composition reverberated. At the same time as Yue Guan escaped, that faintly red crystal was turned to dust by some strange force, drifting through the air, not even leaving corpses behind. 49 spirit hall elite spirit emperors really were very powerful. They could even easily destroy a 1,000-man army, but unfortunately, what they encountered was the 100,000-year spirit ability they had only heard legends of. Thousand-hand Asura Tang San's 8th spirit ability, from the spirit ring of the 100,000-year evil spirit Orca King. The blue silver Orca devil mirrors annihilation, hiding within the vast deep barrier and choosing this forest to attack him through mental strength was undoubtedly Tang San's masterpiece. Xiao Wu and Ma Hongzhen didn't do anything, since if they did, the stealth effect would instantly disappear. Tang San had 2 choices, one to directly attack Yue Guan, and the other to release a large-scale attack. If he directly attacked Yue Guan, Tang San had a 10% chance to instantly kill him. After all, Chrysanthemum Douluo wasn't a spirit Douluo, and even though Yue Guan's fighting strength wasn't worth much, the sea god trident didn't have any restraining effect on him. Instantly killing a title Douluo was still extremely difficult, but even so, Tang San was still confident he could seriously injure Chrysanthemum Douluo from ambush, but he didn't do so, and instead chose to launch a group attack, because Tang San had already decided before starting that he absolutely wouldn't let a single spirit empire spirit master escape. Revenge was secondary. The key reason was that he didn't want the news that he was guarding the supply line to reach BD Dong's ears. Spirit Emperor level spirit masters, without extremely special circumstances, how could they stand a chance of surviving Tang San's blue silver Orca devil mirror's annihilation? Since you've come, why be in such a rush to leave? Yue Guan was just running with his heart filled with fear. He was constantly shouting to himself, it's that person, but at this moment he didn't have the slightest thought of avenging Ghost Douluo. There were no other title Douluo with him now, and even less BD Dong support. That person dared rob the Lord Supreme Pontiff's spirit rings, and could even instantly kill Gui Mei, let alone him. All he prayed for right now was that he could use the moment after that person released his 8th spirit ability and had to adjust spirit power to escape. In his impression, that person absolutely wasn't an agility attack type spirit master. His odd velvet sky chrysanthemum had lots of marvelous uses. He might still be able to escape, but a ball of intense flame dashed his hopes. With an enormous explosion, that explosive flame blocked Chrysanthemum Douluo's path. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black, covered in roiling flame. Ma Hongzhen wearing 8 spirit rings stood in his way, slowly pulling back his right arm. What Ma Hongzhen used just now was his explosive inflagration flame right arm bones ability, Phoenix Burst. Yue Guan's strength was originally enough to not get blasted back by Ma Hongzhen's sneak attack, but unfortunately his mind was in chaos right now. In his heart rose the figure of that person, and that terrifying golden trident. Thus he was blocked by Ma Hongzhen's sneak attack just now. Shrek 7 devils, fuck off. Seeing Ma Hongzhen's 8 spirit rings, Yue Guan couldn't help being shocked. The odd velvet sky chrysanthemum in his hand flew out, the enormous flower growing once again in its spirit avatar state, unexpectedly reaching a 10-meter diameter. Violently spinning it flew towards Ma Hongzhen. At the same time Yue Guan's own body also flew up, landing on that giant chrysanthemum, his whole body immersed in its golden light, completely fusing together with the spirit's energy. Relying on his title Douluo level strength, this attack was in order to escape, and its power was quite considerable. Ma Hongzhen's current spirit power was just rank 81, and without using his spirit avatar, it was basically impossible for him to block it. Of course, Yue Guan's goal wasn't to kill Ma Hongzhen, he just wanted to break open a path and flee before that person had caught up. Unfortunately, he had underestimated Tang San's recovery speed. Ordinary title Douluo might need some time to catch their breath after releasing an 8th spirit ability, but to someone with 6 spirit bones and all spirit rings above the 50,000-year level, and a physique that even more surpassed the extremes of humanity, what did using an 8th spirit ability count as? Consequently, when that glittering chrysanthemum was in front of Ma Hongzhen, Yue Guan saw a disdainful smile at the corner of Ma Hongzhen's mouth, as well as a black giant trident. Boom! Yue Guan had large momentum. In order to break open a road, he had already used his full strength. Even though he saw that black trident blocking his way, he could only forcibly run into it. That instant collision made Yue Guan's internal organs feel like pulp, and he, connected with that odd velvet sky chrysanthemum spirit, was like he had run into an unsurpassable iron city wall. The odd velvet sky chrysanthemum spirit suddenly shattered. Even Yue Guan was knocked back, stars before his eyes and blood running from his mouth and nose. He felt no pain, but he was already completely paralyzed. Even rank 97 sword Douluo and rank 99 BB Dong couldn't break through the sea god trident's block head-on. Using pure force, perhaps nobody in the entire continent could break past the trident Tang San held. The 108,000 jin weight really was too frightening. The only chance to deal with Tang San's sea god trident was to not collide with it. Yue Guan admittedly had title Douluo level strength. This also made his crash extremely powerful, but with great force, the opposing force would be even greater. Tang San relied completely on brute force to block him with the sea god trident, and it was also with pure force that this chrysanthemum Douluo was thrown back. Not only did it break his odd velvet sky chrysanthemum, it even broke his nerves. Yue Guan retreated a few steps, looking at Tang San, and then at Xiao Wu next to him. It's really you, Tang San. Tang San spoke calmly. We meet again, Senior Chrysanthemum Douluo. Yue Guan's expression turned anxious. Tang San, let me go. You should know that all we did was on the Supreme Pontiff's orders. As long as you let me go, I'll join your Heaven Do Empire faction. I can help you deal with the Spirit Empire. No matter what, I'm still a title Douluo. Tang San didn't look at Yue Guan again, his eyes revealing a deep sorrow, unknown whether it was because of Yue Guan's bowing and scraping, or because he recalled something. Senior Yue Guan, back then, in that lush Stardo Great Forest, did you let me and Xiao Wu go? Do you know how much we suffered because of that? Did you let the blue lighting tyrant dragon plan go? My parents? Or the countless powers that died tragically by the hands of your Spirit Hall? Spirit Hall has sown too many disasters. Straighten your trembling spine. Yes. You are a title Douluo, so die with some dignity. Yue Guan's expression changed once again, but this time, his face grew ice cold. He already understood from what Tang San said that this youth wouldn't possibly let him go. He'd never thought that, as a title Douluo, he would also have a day like this. The corners of his mouth revealed a wry smile. Yes, you're right. As a title Douluo, why would I bow and scrape? That I am here today is because of myself. If I hadn't clung to the glory Spirit Hall could give me, how would I end up like this? If I could choose again, then in my next life I will definitely be a free spirit master. Only now do I understand that living freely is more important than any influence, status or money. Perhaps, death is a new beginning for me. Tang San, before you act, can you tell me how you have such strength without one spirit ring? Tang San spoke calmly. I have a kind of ability to hide spirit rings. Words on the deathbed always come from the heart. I will let you die peacefully. While speaking, Tang San slowly pointed the sea god trident forward. Around him, one spirit ring after another quietly appeared. Black, 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 red, black, red, red, red. 9 spirit rings. each that appeared seemed to make the atmosphere a bit heavier. As they all circled around Tang San, not only was Yue Guan stunned, even Ma Hongzhen to the side was stupefied. Losing to you, my death isn't unjust. Only, I won't wait to die. If you want my life, come and take it. Yue Guan howled, his whole body again brightening with golden light. The broken odd velvet sky chrysanthemum reformed, instantly completing spirit avatar. At this moment, he had already laid down all worries and hope of surviving. His fighting spirit and spirit power were fully ignited. Fatty, you and Xiao we stepped back. Tang San spoke calmly. At the same time, the sea god trident he held was already pointing towards Yue Guan's chest. As your light rose from below Tang San's feet, instantly enveloping him completely. His spirit avatar had launched, and at this moment, the red spirit ring in the arrayed in the last position was the first to brighten. Yue Guan looked completely fierce at this moment, sinking his spirit power into the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum avatar without regard for the price. Frantically trembling, his body brightening, he also simultaneously used his last placed night spirit ability. The giant odd velvet sky chrysanthemum rose into the air. Yue Guan unexpectedly not using it to defend himself. Glaring at Tang San, he yelled word by word, his voice filled with a strange magic. With each word, the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum in the sky would grow a bit larger, and its golden light also grew even more sparkling. Chrysanthemum, ruin, fill the earth with wounds, flowers, fall on broken hearts. At his last word, the already immense odd velvet sky chrysanthemum in the air shattered with a loud explosion. Each glittering chrysanthemum petal spinning out like a crescent moonblade. All the petals formed a giant golden tornado, falling from the sky straight at Tang San. Just at this moment, Tang San's blue light from the blue silver avatar state suddenly turned azure. A resonant dragon cry emanated from his shocking spirit power. The red knight spirit ring instantly merged into his body, and immediately the azure light flourished, an incomparably enormous azure dragon suddenly rushing out of Tang San. Yes. Sky Blue Ball Python Deming had never completed his long-cherished wish in his lifetime. After sacrificing himself to become Tang San's spirit ring, he finally succeeded. This azure dragon shape was Deming's evolved form after his sacrifice. This was also one of Tang San's ninth spirit abilities. Blue Silver Sky Blue Dragon Soul. 1. Without any garishness, that giant azure dragon instantly rammed into the chrysanthemum petal golden tornado, countless violent cracks exploding in the air. The two great knights' spirit abilities collided against the skies, the golden and azure lights producing such shocks that even the sunshine in the sky dimmed for a moment. Spirit ability collisions was in itself a direct dialogue between two spirit masters. Practically the instant the two knights' spirit abilities crashed together, Yue Guang's face had already turned deathly pale. Tang San hadn't used his sea god trident, colliding head-on with knights' spirit abilities. But in just an instant, Yue Guang understood that even in a collision like this, he was far from being the opponent of his youth. The tornado formed from his odd velvet sky chrysanthemum basically couldn't harm the azure dragon in the slightest. Each chrysanthemum petal that struck the dragon would instantly disappear. The attacks it produced only made that giant azure dragon shine. Just at this moment, another explosion suddenly echoed. Yue Guang felt the ground beneath his feet jolt, and the next moment he had already lost control of his body, launched high in the air. Below him, another giant azure dragon soared up, using its enormous body to twist around Yue Guang in practically an instant. The intense pressure left him unable to breathe, and combined with his exhausted spirit power and injuries, he had already lost the ability to resist. Tang San stood on the ground, his expression never changing, speaking calmly. Even though they're both knight's spirit abilities, the biggest difference between 10,000-year spirit abilities and 100,000-year spirit abilities is that using the same spirit power, you can only produce one knight's spirit ability, but I can release two. With a tearing sound, the previous giant azure dragon charged through the odd velvet sky chrysanthemum's restraints, thoroughly ripping apart Yue Guan's last hopes. Falling from the sky, it charged straight at the other azure dragon. Tang San didn't keep watching Yue Guan, turning around and leaping up. One blue silver emperor flew out and wound around Xiaowi's waist, pulling his lover to his side. Let's go. He really didn't need to keep watching. This fight was already over. This second giant azure dragon's twisting around Yue Guan was his knight's spirit ring's second ability, blue silver azure dragon's tangling strength. It was the strongest control ability among all of Tang San's spirit ring abilities. It didn't have the united offense and defense of the unfixed storm, nor did it slow the target for 10 seconds like the slowing god claw, but at the same time it didn't have the unfixed storm's limited success rate or the slowing god claw's hit requirements. In order to break free of the blue silver azure dragon's tangling strength, you had to have strength surpassing Tang San's. This was the first requirement. The second was that you also needed an ability powerful enough to break the restraint. Yue Guan had neither, and therefore he could only stay bound by that azure dragon and suffer the baptism of the other knight's spirit ability dragon soul. A violent explosion echoed behind them. Tang San didn't even need to turn around to know that Yue Guan had not even left a corpse behind, not any spirit bones. He wasn't interested in seeing Yue Guan's death. After all, he had once had a good impression of this title Douluo. Goodbye. Tang San silently said to himself, war was cruel. He knew this deeply. If you didn't kill the enemy would kill you in turn. Benevolence was a sin on the battlefield. Third brother, your strength really is too scary now. Ma Hongzhen followed next to Tang San, and couldn't help commenting. Tang San had finished that battle just now with his strength alone. To be precise, he had used 1/8 spirit ability and 2 9 spirit abilities to completely erase a group of 50 powerful spirit masters including a title Douluo from this world. The whole process took less than a quarter of an hour, neat and tidy. Moreover, Ma Hongzhen didn't get the slightest feeling that Tang San's spirit power was lacking even after using 3 powerful abilities in succession. A complete suppression, without giving the enemy the slightest chance. He knew that this third brother of his had already grown to become a terrifying control-type title Douluo. Tang San glanced at Ma Hongzhen, sighing, if I had the choice, I'd rather not slaughter again. But that's not an option now. While the enemy remains, I can't be charitable. I will meet them on the battlefield with my full strength. As the 3 returned to the 7 Devils rally point, Daimabai and the others were already gone. Only a few Speedhole disciples were left waiting there for their return. There's a situation. Tang San landed and immediately asked, Sect Master, we've discovered 3 teams of unknown spirit masters enter our scouting range one after another, all made up from 50 spirit masters each. They're flanking our resupply army from different directions. They're moving very fast. Mr. Bai and the others already went to repulse 1. We're keeping watch on the other 2, and we've already notified the Heaven Do Empire supply guards. Tang San nodded. The Spirit Empire is spending their earnings this time, only I wonder if each Spirit Master team has a title Douluo in command. Let's go, bring us to the closest one. Xiao, we said. Will Boss Dai and the others be fine? Tang San smiled slightly. Absolutely don't underestimate them. The 4 of them together, with Little Ao and Rongrong's support, might be even more efficient than us. It seems we can't meet up for the moment. There might still be more Spirit Empire raiding teams. Just now I forgot to remove those Spirit Masters' spirit tools, so they were all shattered by my blue silver organ mirror's annihilation. Later on we'll make sure to loot them, and see what goodies they're bringing. At the same time, taking their spirit tools can make things a bit easier for our transport troops. One spirit tool should hold at least a ton of supplies. Gelling Pass. The Spirit Empire Empress Bibi Dong stood upright on the 100-meter-tall mountain pass. Her flat expression revealed none of her mood. A sumptuous yellow robe set off her noble character even more. As the first ruler of the Spirit Empire, she was facing the most important battle in her life. On either side of Bibi Dong stood 4 grave-mannered elders. They included the Blowfish Douluo and Serpent Spear Douluo Tang San had once met. These 8 had a manner that the officers behind them couldn't compare to by far. With their existence, plus Bibi Dong herself, they had an imposing manner that didn't even lose to the million-man army stretching out across the field 50 li away. Reporting to your Majesty, the Heaven Do Imperial Army has already been camped for 2 days. Their rest should be complete, and they will definitely begin to move shortly. One tall, 60-something elder deferentially reported to Bibi Dong. Bibi Dong nodded. How is our military situation? The 3 armies have high morale. The Spirit Master legions are ready. We are ready to break the enemy. Bibi Dong spoke calmly. Is there news from the raiding parties? They've already been gone for 2 days. None. Wait. When there is news, report to me immediately. Yes. Report. Just at this moment, an orderly swiftly ran over. From the way he moved, it was clear this orderly was a quite strong Spirit Master. What are you panicking for? What is it? Bibi Dong turned her gaze to that orderly. This was an exclusive Spirit Hole scout answering directly to her. The power of Spirit Hole could be said to be the foundation of the Spirit Empire, and Bibi Dong would naturally keep this power firmly in her grasp. Reporting to your Majesty. There's news of our raiding parties. Oh. Bibi Dong's eyes flashed. How is it? Your Majesty, the orderly slowed, raising his head to look at Bibi Dong, not quite daring to speak. Speak, Bibi Dong's eyes radiated light, and her sharp shout almost made the orderly collapse on the ground. Yes. It's, of 10 raiding parties, less than 30 people have returned alive. By their reports, the other members have already what? An unreassuring feeling rose in Bibi Dong's heart. With a wave of her right hand, an incorporeal spirit power instantly grabbed the orderly. Have already died for the nation. What? Bibi Dong's expression changed, sharply pulling the orderly close to her. Tell me the details. People only returned from 4 of the 10 raiding parties, and they're all heavily wounded. They said they were ambushed by powerful Heaven Do Empire spirit masters. Should be title. Douluo level powers. There is no news of the other 6 raiding parties. I fear they've already been completely wiped out. Could they burn the Heaven Do Empire's resupply line provisions? No. They didn't even see the supplies before they were ambushed. The enemy was extremely powerful. 4 people. Among them was one female spirit master from the 7 Treasure Glaze Tile School, but she had 8 spirit rings. With her support, the other 3, also spirit masters with 8 rings, all reached the title Douluo level of strength. The raiding parties couldn't resist. Bibi Dong's breathing was clearly a bit uneven. Releasing the orderly, her eyes flashed. Behind her, a relatively old title Douluo spoke in a low voice. Your Majesty, where did Heaven Do Empire get so many powers from? The teams we sent were all rank 60 spirit emperor experts and up. There was even one team led by Chrysanthemum Douluo Yue Guan. Something strange here. Bibi Dong could still keep calm, showing her bearing as empress. If she showed confusion now, the fighting spirit of all those high-ranked officers from the kingdoms and duchies would drop even more. Elder T and Feng, you go. Question the returning spirit masters in detail. Also, go see if Yue Guan is back. Above all, you must ask them about the spirits and spirit abilities of the 4 people that attacked them. Yes. Elder T and Feng quickly walked away. Bibi Dong gazed at the distant vast Heaven Do camp, her expression changing repeatedly. Even if Spirit Hall had numerous experts, these 10 raiding parties were absolutely the elite of Spirit Hall's elite. An ordinary spirit master who had reached rank 60 or above was at least 50 years old. Those with good aptitude would be 40. Rank 70 spirit sages, rank 80 spirit Douluo, were even more 1,000 li distant. This one loss was difficult to bear even for the spirit master founders of the Spirit Empire. The Heaven Do Empire really had come prepared. Bibi Dong's eyes glinted with cold light. It seemed she might not be able to compete with the Heaven Do Empire in stratagems. This powerful enemy that had for so many years dominated the continent together with Star Luo really had a depth in military strategy that her improvised alliance could measure up to. Pass on my orders. Recall all scout troops. Focus on investigating the Heaven Do Imperial Army camp. Pay close attention to the movements of their spirit masters. At the same time, send orders to Shuing Pass, 2, not to go into battle. Place all strength on defense, and don't confront the Star Luo Empire head on, until I've routed the Heaven Do Empire. Yes. Heaven Do Empire, if I'm not your opponent in ambushing, then we will fight head on. I'd like to see just how you block my 10,000 unit Spirit Master legions. Meanwhile, Tang San had also returned with his comrades to the Heaven Do Empire camp. With the Speed Hall disciples' tireless scouting, after cleaning up those 10 raiding parties, there had been no signs of more enemies. Tang San had promptly decided to send Speed Hall disciples to warn the real logistics army, and then return to the camp. Haha, little San, this time Bibi Dong might even be in tears. Sending 500 Spirit Masters, but barely a handful returning, and these Spirit Masters should also be the Spirit Empire's elites. It seems to me that it might be very difficult even for them to send another party, unless they aren't planning to fight our army. Dai Mobai was in an excellent mood. Even though the more than 30 survivors all escaped from him, Zhu King, Ning Ronggrom and Oscar's interceptions, while Tang San completely annihilated all opponents, he still felt excellent. He hadn't fought so happily for years, and they had destroyed the Spirit Empire's most powerful force. This one strike would undoubtedly leave the Spirit Empire wishing they were dead. Tang San said. Bibi Dong shouldn't be sending in more troops at our supplies for now. I expect that since her ambushing won't do, she'll definitely try fighting head on. If our army is defeated in this battle, then she's bound to send attacks daily, relying on the Spirit Master legions to constantly consume our strength. If she fails, she will hole up in Jelling Pass and think of something else. Dai Mobai said. This battle is the Heaven Do Empire's business. We just have to worry about the Spirit Empire's Spirit Masters. I just don't know whether our Tang Sect's hidden weapons can harm their Spirit Master legions. Tang San smiled slightly. I'm a BT worried too. That's why I was in a rush to return. I hope there won't be any trouble. Otherwise our years of preparations are useless. Even though Spirit Hall has numerous Spirit Masters, that's still mainly low-level Spirit Masters. We will doubtless cause them the greatest losses in this first battle. We have to exploit this chance to let our Tang army seriously into the Spirit Empire. I'll go find Shui Bang and discuss the plans for the next battle and see how they've planned to face the Spirit Empire. Works well. One can never know too much. If I'd read a bit on the art of war before, I wouldn't be so puzzled now. Oscar snapped. Little San, you already know more than enough. If you know everything and become omniscient, we can't keep up with you. Tang San's head moved. Little Ao, you've already reached the Spirit Douluo level now. There might not be any food-type Spirit Masters at your level on the entire continent. When you make us big recovery sausages, that's just the first Spirit ability, but you still have to make them one by one. Didn't you say that a Spirit Douluo level food-type Spirit Master can feed an army of thousands? And even an army of tens of thousands at the title Douluo level? How is that possible when you make them one by one? Oscar said a bit proudly. You don't understand that. The big recovery sausages I make for us are the highly concentrated editions. Don't tell me you haven't felt that from the first big recovery sausages you ate until now. The sausages have all been the same. That isn't the effect of the big recovery sausage, but rather the focused spirit power I made for you. If it's just for the most basic level of recovery, I could produce countless in the blink of an eye. Tang San understood. So that's it. Then can you mass produce flying mushroom sausages? Oscar said. Depends on the quantity. Flying mushroom sausages don't keep for very long. You know that too. Even if I'm already above rank 80, my flying mushroom sausages will still only keep for at most 10 days. The most basic flying mushroom sausage made with my ability, plus using the erect gold fly, should be useful for 10 minutes of flight. In one day, with my full strength, making 1,500 isn't much of a problem. Sensing the increasingly admiring gazes of his comrades, Oscar couldn't help being even more proud, adding, that's without Rongrong's help. If I have Rongrong's boost, doubling the production rate isn't a problem. This big brother is amazing. Tang San exclaimed. Really amazing. No wonder teacher says that the more difficult the spirit is to cultivate, the more frightening it will be at high levels. It seems there's still no food-type title Douluo in the world. Little Al, this flying mushroom sausage can completely help us forge an ambush. Only, no matter what, it will have to wait until the battle with the Spirit Empire really starts. 1. Blue Silver Sky Blue Dragon Soul. 2. Shuin Pass. Water Cloud Pass.